Taurus, this is your 2026 teaser video. Let's talk about what the hell is happening in the sky for you in 2026. First of all, we have 2026. This is a number 1 year, the year of initiation, of starting new, going forward, moving fearlessly. You have had Uranus transiting your sign for a hot minute, and now in April, you will have Uranus changing signs going into your second house, the house of your money, your finances, your self-worth, your value. Wherever Uranus sits can and will bring changes, shock, unexpected news, shake-ups. Ultimately, first of all, when we talk about planets, Uranus is not a malefic planet, it is not a benefic planet, it is quite neutral. However, I do find Uranus will shake things up for wherever it's sitting, whoever it's sitting for your greater good. And so Uranus will ask you during the course of its transit to reevaluate, to look at your finances, to look at your money, your stability, because Uranus wants to shake things up in the area of wealth and income. So there could be, and there will be changes going on around your work scenario. So over the course of this transit, there will be opportunities for you to transform and change your career path. That's something you choose to wish to do so. Changes in how you make money, what you do for work, and also the value around yourself. Because the second house is not only the work that you do and the money that you make, it is also the value that you hold to those things too. So it can be things like your self-worth. So for you, Taurus, this can be like, well, what do I believe to be true around the stories that I've learned around wealth and money? Where have I learned those stories from regarding wealth and money? Yes, you have Venus, your ruler, which rules over abundance, pleasure, joy, money, all that great stuff. Uranus is asking you, however, do you believe that you are worthy and deserving of all those things? Are you able to let go of outdated beliefs? Because it may be actually Uranus is like, okay, you've been doing things a certain way, and that's okay, but there is so much more available to you. Are you ready to receive that? Because you are here to live a absolutely abundant experience in the earth realm. And so Uranus is like, let's shake things up for you. Let's cut away with false senses of security, because those are no longer serving you. So there could be changes to your finances, changes to your career, what you do for a living. Okay, the money that comes in. Uranus will teach you to be savvy, to stack, to save. You may, under this transit, decide to gamble, to why I say that, because Uranus is unpredictable. So it may be that you're going to decide to, okay, I'm going to invest in crypto, invest in stocks and shares. I'm going to take risks with my money, and it's not for me to say to do that or not to do that. I think that anything that you decide to do is to always get the information first before you proceed. All right, because Uranus is like, oh, you know what, I want to invest in this get rich thing. All right, and there will be instances with Uranus. I've noticed, especially in the money houses, that money will flow in unexpectedly in huge amounts. But also with this Uranus energy, it can also disappear as fast as it arrives. So I would say, be mindful of anything which is like too good to be true. Do your research. Okay, Uranus to the second house is one of the transits that can be great for, you know, uh, investing in things like stocks, shares, and cryptocurrency, because this is Uranus we're talking about. All right, Uranus has that Aquarian energy which rules the internet to it, especially in the house of money as well. There can be influxes, huge influxes, money owed to you coming in, unexpected cash coming in, finance coming in, unexpected pay rises, promotion, job opportunity. Uranus brings opportunity to you. Um, like I said, this is a transit for you to navigate, because as fast as it can come in, it can also go out as well. All right. However, money is limitless. It is abundant. You're always in never-ending flow to it. As long as you're prepared to do the work around money, around wealth, around your deserving of, and the energy and the importance you put on the material. And that's not to say that material wealth and material possessions are, good or bad, because we are here in a human 5D physical experience to experience, physical pleasures as human beings. So enjoy this second house transit. All right. Also, this year you will have Saturn changing the signs too, and so for you, Saturn will be moving. It's been sat in your in your 12th house, right? It's been moving from your 11th house going into your 12th house, okay? So when Saturn transits the 12th house, this will bring challenges, lessons, and work to be done on our own undoing, our limiting beliefs, the things that we think to be true. And this ties in very nicely with this 12th and second house axis as we talk about Uranus too, because when these energies sextile one another, it's about, well, okay, my self-belief of the second house, what I believe about, my self-worth, is stemming from the 12th house, because as Saturn transits through the 12th house, and this will start to take place for you from the 13th of February onwards, when it will stay home here for the next few years. We already had a taste of this in 2025, and now in 2026, Saturn wants you to master the mind, master your inner world, because the 12th house is the house of the subconscious and the thoughts that we think about ourselves when we choose to. I mean, the 12th house is like a memory loop. So it can be like, okay, I am in a constant memory loop about this one thing. Okay. I'm constantly relooping the thoughts over and over again. All right. This is about limiting beliefs. This is the house of our own undoing, the stories that we tell about ourselves to ourselves. This is about your mind. And when we have a transit from Saturn in the 12th house, because the 12th house also rules things like isolation too, this can be the energy where, and I was saying a similar thing to Aries as well, because I think they've already experienced this transit already, that we may step back from the groups that we're part of, the people that we normally connect with, and we will actually go within ourselves, because we are now. Well, Saturn's asking you now. This is the time over the next few years for you to do the work, and it's not uncommon when we have Saturn transiting the 12th house, the house of the subconscious, the psyche, to delve into therapeutic practice, therapy, seeking counsel, seeking a therapist, to discuss our feelings, our emotions, our thought process, and doing the inner work on ourselves, because our 12th house is all to do with our inner world, our inner healing. And as Saturn transits through here, it's a time for introspection, to I want to say loneliness, but to actually to actively want to spend time alone, so you can then actually figure out what it is that I want, who am I becoming, what is my purpose. This is a really deep spiritual house, and Saturn here is asking you to go within, go deep, to reflect upon your life's journey. This is like a heavy transit, it's about asking you, well, why am I here, what is my purpose, what am I doing, right? As opposed to just doing things just because I always do that. Saturn is like, well, why am I doing this thing, right? Why are these right? Why am I in this relationship? Why am I friends with the friends I'm friends with? Why am I doing this? This is very much about going within, introspection, spending time alone purposefully, because the best and the longest and most nourishing relationship that you will have is with yourself, and your relationship with yourself will be until your last breath. And Saturn's asking you to honor that relationship for you, to you, go within and do the deep healing work. Saturn in the 12th house will ask us to, because this is the house of karma and Saturn is a karmic planet, this is about working on our karma and rewriting our karmic story. And so it will be that we may even start to practice meditation, breath work, being part of those circles and groups too, where we are delving more into spirituality. And it will be that also 12 with this 12 house transit, that you will incorporate spirituality in your everyday life, because that's Saturn asking you to do so, because Saturn asks you to do things over and over again like a routine, because the 12th house is your mental health and the 6th house is your physical health, right? And because on this 12th and 6th house axis, Saturn is opposing that 6th house too, the energy is asking you to have structure, routine and organize things that are to do with your physical health and your mental health. So this is looking after your body, looking after the food that you eat, having healthier habits when it comes to what you consume physically, spiritually, and mentally. All right, this is such a deep transit for you, Taurus, right? Also, you will have. Shall we continue? Yeah, let's continue talking about the 12th house, because not only do you have Saturn here, you also have Neptune here too. Neptune will be sitting dissolving the 12th house, and this will be happening as soon as we start the year in January, right? And this will be happening. Right, this will start the ingress around the 26th of January. All right, and this is going to be here for a minute. This is going to be here for a decade at least. All right, for you to do the work, dissolving boundaries when it comes to your spirituality. When Neptune transits the 12th house, this is asking you to incorporate and delve into spirituality. You will become, because Neptune will thin the veil between the conscious and subconscious, that you will actually become more spiritual, right? You may even, because it's the 12th house, you may even become more empathic towards one another, more clairvoyant. I find with a Neptune in the 12th house transit that you can even become more psychic. So it may mean that you will tune into those abilities, that either naturally, or you will start to, with the help of Saturn, either through the help of a guide or mentor, you will start to learn this practice and harness it for your own good. So it may mean that you become more empathic. You may, because we're talking about energy healing as well, this could be that you may either become like a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki master, for example, or you will incorporate the services like into your day-to-day life, where you will maybe start to have regular, energy healing sessions, somatic healing sessions via this Neptune in the 12th house, because the 12th house rules things like institutions around your physical and mental health as well. And so it may mean that you will even start to, for example, Neptune in the 12th, right? It could be, for example, you will start to incorporate sound bath healing, right? Drumming circles, mediumship, clairvoyancy circles. This will be your new circle of people, and this will be like a regular thing that you will incorporate into your practice to help you soothe and heal physical and your mental health. Because remember, the 12th house is all to do with the mind, to do with your own undoing. Neptune in the 12th house, I would say to watch out for attracting habits such as escapism. So this can play into, as you may want to do things to escape, like such as alcohol, substances, hallucinogenics, that sort of stuff, right? You could channel this into other avenues such as painting, photography, cinematography, dancing, because the 12th house also rules. This is a positive ruled house, right? This, not only is it, the veil of escapism in the realms of excessive behavior, it can also be channeled in ways such as artistic endeavors too. So music, painting, dancing, whether you incorporate that into your day-to-day life. The 12th house is sleep too, so you will have prolific dreams too. Astral projection. There could be with Saturn, with Saturn in the 12th, a good remedy would be for you to either keep stones in your bedroom or to have your bedroom cooler, like cooler temperature, to combat this energy. Neptune in the 12th house, fantastic for using. So I love to have sound bath healing and sounds playing when I'm in my bedroom, as well as using I have like special lighting and I use mood lighting and stuff in the bedroom as well to help me sleep, because this is like a really Neptunian thing to do. And having like a really great evening routine would be a fantastic way to harness the energy of this transit. Let's talk about. So we talked about Saturn, we talked about Neptune. We talked about Uranus. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Let's talk about Pluto. Pluto. Well, this is already off the bat. As soon as we get into 2026, this will already be sitting for you. But for you, Pluto is going to be transiting your 10th house. All right, starting. This will already move by 2025, going direct. Okay, Pluto will go direct in 2026. It depends on lots of its journey in retrograde. This is not uncommon. However, Pluto will be transiting your 10th house. Pluto through the 10th house is a huge transformations in the way you come across to the world. Okay. Similar to, but not the same as the first house, where how you are perceived by the public, by others. When I say the public, it's not like, so this can be social media, of course, but like your public. So it could be like, your friendship circle, the people that you work with, how you're seen in your career, in your profession, how you seen by your family, right? Just how you are perceived, right? This is all changing because you are changing. We have all this huge 12th house energy going on with Neptune and Saturn, asking you to do the work, asking you to dissolve boundaries, asking you to do the healing with Uranus in the second house about your values. That Pluto in the 10th house is about you transforming and also becoming an absolute powerhouse, because Pluto, yes, it's asking you to transform. A bit like, if I was to describe Pluto as a tarot card, Pluto would be like a mix between the Tower and the Star. Because, yes, the Tower is about absolute death and destruction of what is no longer serving us, right? So this can be like, well, what is it in my personality or how I come across or how I've done things that isn't serving me or anybody? Right? What am I willing to, or needing to, or wanting to burn to the ground when it comes to how I come across, how I act, how I show up in the world, my personality, which is holding me back. Because Pluto is about being an absolute powerhouse, being strength, being confident, being a leader. And in the house of leadership, I wouldn't be surprised if you would scale heights in your career. If you're someone who's working, you will scale heights in your career and become someone who's very prolifically recognized. Okay? Because Pluto brings power wherever it is. And if you're in the 10th house, Pluto is bringing power to your work, to your career, death and rebirth in that as well. So you may completely change careers. You may up level to the point where you are actually in a position of power. Pluto is power, right? Within your work, or there will be power struggles playing out, where there will be something where you'll have to deal with something where there will be power struggles with you and work colleagues. This can be power struggles within partnerships too, especially if you are in a partnership, right? There could be power struggles at play here, and Pluto's asking you to step into your power. You know, there can be obsessive behavior as well here with Pluto. So Pluto may have you. But this is the shadow side of it. You can become obsessive about your work, your career, about climbing the ladder. You could be obsessed about, your partner, for example, and become all encompassing and really hyper focused on that too. But ultimately, this is about death, transformation, and rebirth. And again, not only will you have Pluto here, you have the eclipses here too. Pluto transiting, I do find Pluto transiting the 10th and 4th house axis, especially as the eclipses move in. And the eclipses will be moving in around about, they're changing signs. Have a quick look, I wrote this down for us. Yeah, this will be happening around June, July when the eclipses change signs, right? The nodes change signs. And so not only do you have Pluto in the 10th house, the eclipses will be happening for you starting from 2026 onwards for the 18 months that follow in the 10th and 4th house. Huge changes around your career, your work, right? Where you live. The 4th house is the house of home. Okay, so you may uh, rebuild, tear it to the ground. I'm looking around my house, tear it to the ground. When I had this transit, I changed homes. Also with this transit, because this is first of all with the Pluto transit, it's a long transit, it's over a decade, right? The eclipse is not so long, right? They're 18 months. Um, you could, depending on your personal planets as well, experience. I had the moon and south node here, but generally the 10th and 4th house, these rule your family, this rules your home, your home life, your house where you live. There could be huge endings and changes around where you live. There could be endings when it comes to parents and grandparents as well, because it's a huge transit. Okay, not just the eclipses. I'm talking about the Pluto and the Pluto opposition too. Okay, however, with the eclipses in the 10th and 4th house, huge changes to your career, huge changes to where you live. And this is all karmic destiny because the 10th and 4th house is karmic destiny points, right? Sorry, the eclipse is the karmic destiny points in the 10th and 4th house, especially. There will be shock endings and new beginnings, redirecting you to your life purpose. You do have Jupiter blessing your 4th house. Jupiter will move into your 4th house in July. In July, right? And Jupiter moving into your 4th house, fantastic for your home and family life. Okay, so you're going to be absolutely blessed when it comes to home, when it comes to family. I do find when Jupiter transits 4th house, this can expand your family, so it can make your family bigger. So there could be baby news on the way, there could be pregnancy news on the way. The family is growing, the family is expanding, the home is expanding too. So this could be you either renovating, extending physically your home, or you could literally be moving home too. Inviting more spirituality into the home as well, and also blessing, not only blessing your 4th house as in like your home and family, but blessing the people within your home too. Because not only does the 4th house rule where you live, it rules your parents and your grandparents too. So they will be blessed, and they will be more jovial, and they'll be more abundant too, because Jupiter will touch and bless that area of your life as well.